In a quaint Spanish town, Vicente covertly pilfers bottles from a grocery store, aided by his son Ian's unique power to create illusions, diverting the clerk's attention. Vicente makes a small purchase and departs, while Ian maintains the illusion outside. However, Ian's concentration is shattered when a group of girls mock him, causing the illusion to fade. Inside, the clerk discovers the missing bottles and threatens Vicente with a hammer. In a panic, Ian creates an illusion of having a gun, but it fails to deter the clerk. In a moment of desperation, Ian accidentally fires a shot, wounding the clerk. As she falls, Ian glimpses her memories, and police sirens draw nearer. Vicente rushes Ian to their truck, leaving the mysteriously healed clerk behind. As they speed away, the police give chase. Ian reflects on the potential of his powers, while Vicente urges caution, alluding to unknown forces they must avoid. At the beach, Ian conjures a powerful illusion, convincing the pursuing officer that they are in the midst of a hailstorm, leading to a car crash at a gas station. However, the illusion dissipates, and the police rekindle their pursuit. Father and son argue about their actions and their elusive enemies. The conflict continues as they reach a motel and Ian creates a diversion, making the cop cars fire in the wrong direction. Adriana, a mysterious figure, is alerted to this incident through security footage. The next morning, Ian and Vicente find themselves on an abandoned ship where they reside. Ian has a disturbing dream of his deceased mother singing to him as a baby. Vicente prepares a special birthday breakfast for Ian and shares a picture of Ian's mother, taken when he first discovered his powers. Ian longs for a normal teenage birthday at an arcade but is forbidden by Vicente. Furious, Ian retreats to his room to vent his frustration on a training dummy before fleeing through the window. Back in town, the police officer recounts the bizarre hail incident to the bartender, unknowingly overheard by a mysterious individual known as the Perceiver. Later, a team surrounds their ship, and with Vicente distracted by the TV, Adriana reveals herself and insists on knowing more about Ian. She resorts to violence to extract information but is interrupted by agents who pinpoint Ian's location. Meanwhile, Ian is at the arcade, and the Perceiver, along with 2 agents, arrives to capture him. The Perceiver subdues one agent, uses his radio to deceive Adriana, and hunts for Ian. Ian hides behind a table while the second agent opens fire. The Perceiver manipulates the situation, creating an illusion that leads the agent on a wild goose chase. However, another agent thwarts the Perceiver's tactics by blocking his powers with a helmet. A confrontation ensues, and the Perceiver overpowers the agent before taking on an entire team without breaking a sweat. Back in town, Ester and another agent approach Ian and lure him into a van. Adriana reveals the existence of more people like Ian, and Ian is compelled to accompany them. However, he is immediately bound and restrained with a helmet while a blood sample is taken. The Perceiver, unaware of Ian's whereabouts, attempts to intervene, but the van departs before he can act. Ian awakens in the agency's facility, and Adriana discloses their mission to combat the Conscience, a group of individuals with abilities similar to Ian's. She presses Ian to join their cause and seeks access to the formula present in Ian's blood, which can neutralize the powers of their adversaries. Adriana inquires about Ian's abilities, mentioning his potential to project illusions of people. Ian struggles to create such illusions, and Adriana ascribes his difficulty to emotional control. She presents him with a challenge involving a powerful memory, and Ian finally manages to create the desired illusion, impressing Adriana. However, when asked to terminate the illusion, Ian hesitates and demands to see his father. Vicente explains that Ian can delve into his memories to unveil the truth about their past, revealing a second power. Ian explores Vicente's memories, witnessing a young Vicente working for the agency, and abducting a baby Ian amidst chaos. Adriana confronts Vicente, encouraging Ian to investigate further. In the memory, Ian sees his mother trying to thwart Vicente but ultimately failing. Vicente passes out as Ian releases his grip and discovers the truth about his parentage. Adriana confirms that Vicente is not his biological father and hints that Ian's mother may still be alive. Adriana shares the results of Ian's blood test with an American counterpart, who questions the origins of Ian's powers. She discloses that Ian inherited his powers from his parents, a phenomenon previously considered impossible. The American instructs Adriana to acquire the formula and eliminate Ian, dismissing the notion of a formidable adversary known as the Mule. At a later time, a doctor examines Ian's test results and discovers that his neuron factor is off the charts. Meanwhile, Ester informs Ian that he is merely a lab experiment and offers him a chance to escape. They flee the facility and are surrounded by guards, but Ester demonstrates remarkable combat skills, incapacitating them in a matter of minutes. As they search for an escape, Ian decides to include Vicente in their plan, believing that his memories hold crucial answers. The trio leaves with Vicente, searching for a vehicle outside, while Adriana finally realizes their escape attempt and alerts her agents. The agents pursue the escapees, opening fire, but Ian manipulates the situation with his powers, leading them in a different direction. In the laboratory, the doctor we know from earlier abruptly seizes a gun, unleashing a barrage of bullets on everyone in the room. This chilling revelation that he's, in fact, the Perceiver sends shockwaves through the scene. With calculated precision, he examines the security cameras. On their escape, Ian's extraordinary abilities come into play. He manipulates the guards' aim, diverting their gunfire in another direction. However, their getaway takes a tumultuous turn as Ian's erratic driving sends their car careening off the road and crashing. Moments later, the perceiver arrives. Using his powers, Ian attempts to convince the perceiver that nothing is there, but the perceiver wears a sinister smile as he departs. The trio eventually seeks refuge in a motel. The following morning, Ian and Ester share a quiet moment on the rooftop before returning to their room, where they find Vicente unconscious from drinking. Ian, determined to uncover the truth, delves into his father's mind once more. In this vivid memory, Ian observes Adriana holding a file connected to patient Kaminsky, destined for transfer to Poland. She communicates with a van driver about a forthcoming injection. But an unexpected sight, a masked figure missing 3 fingers, leaves Ian in a state of shock, severing the connection. Later, Ian visits a bank, deceiving a clerk into thinking a random piece of paper is a check to cash. The ploy succeeds until the clerk realizes the ruse and calls for security. Fortunately, Ian reunites with Ester and they make a hasty escape. Back at the motel, Ester amuses herself by making money bills flutter throughout the room before taking a shower. Concern grips Ian as Vicente remains absent. A noise outside alerts him, and he instructs Ester to hide while he conjures an illusion. The perceiver enters, only to find an empty room, immune to illusions thanks to a mirror. A fierce battle ensues, with illusions constantly shifting. Ian employs Ester's taser and even a chair, but to no avail. The fight reaches its peak when the perceiver corners Ian, delving into his memories. Surprisingly, Ian's motive for robbing the bank surfaces. He intends to travel to Poland and locate the scientist behind the experiment. The perceiver releases Ian, departs, and leaves him unconscious. In a dreamlike state, Ian envisions his mother once more, awakening to a scolding from Vicente, who blames him for the media frenzy surrounding the bank robbery. An argument between father and son unfolds, and Vicente presents Ian with 2 choices: continue down a path of pain or leave with him. Ian chooses to embark on a journey to Poland alone. Meanwhile, Adriana and an American agent track the serial numbers on the stolen cash, revealing Ian's purchase of train tickets. Soon after, Ian and Ester arrive in Poland and begin their search for the lab. Agents lurk nearby, but the perceiver eliminates them with precision. Inside the lab, Ian is drawn to a room from his recurring dreams, yet it feels smaller than he recalls. He senses a hollow spot in the walls, breaks through, and discovers a concealed room filled with cabinets and documents. A notebook labeled Project Awareness unveils a picture of his mother, evoking cherished memories. A closer look at the photograph's back reveals that the scientist behind the experiments is Ian's grandfather, who used his own daughter for the experiments. Vicente returns to his ship and is visited by Adriana, who urges him to stop drinking and become a true father. Back in Madrid, Ester and Ian arrive at the perceiver's house, only to find Ian's mother in a catatonic state, a tragic result of the experiments. With the perceiver's arrival, Ian learns that a fragment of his mother's consciousness remains. As Ian ventures into her mind, his mother's physical body begins to convulse. The perceiver joins the mental journey, unveiling the horrifying torture his mother endured due to the agency's experiments. Before her capture, she implanted a memory in Ian's mind, represented by the toys. Ian's mother's wishes become evident as the perceiver's attempts to access the formula are thwarted by an invisible barrier, causing severe harm to her. They are forced to exit her mind, and in reality, Ian sings their childhood song as she passes away. Agents surround the house and storm the room. Grief-stricken and fueled by newfound power, Ian controls the agents, forcing them to attack one another. He then manipulates them into executing each other, an act that disturbs Ester. As the agents retreat, they encounter Adriana, who urges Ian to join her and provide the formula. Ian, however, refuses to engage in the war and leaves with Ester to start anew. Later, Ian and Ester share a tender moment before departing. However, Ian observes that Adriana is caught in a loop within her mind, and she doesn't appear in the truck mirror as they drive away.
Thanks for watching, and if you are new to our channel, subscribe and click the bell icon so you do not miss out on our latest videos.